Hello folks, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Today is the middle of October approximately. I don't even know what the date is. I don't even keep track. I'm retired now and I really don't care. Anyways, today's video, we're going to get ready for winter. We're going to de-winterize, or actually we're going to winterize the mobile home. I live in a mobile home, and there's a lot of folks out there that own mobile homes that might not know how to do this stuff. I know when we bought ours, nobody told us that we had to do this stuff. I don't know if you guys go back in the 60s and the 70s when mobile homes were made out of aluminum and tin, flat roofs, used hay bales to keep the bottom so the wind didn't go through, and then you had frozen pipes, used salamander heaters to thaw them, and then the trailer would start on fire, people would burn their trailers down, blah blah blah. Well, you don't have that problem anymore. They make trailers, mobile homes, you don't want to call them trailers, it sounds cheap. But mobile homes are made very nice today. 2x6 walls. They're made out of real good material, oak trim inside. You walk in them, it's like living in a real beautiful home. But there's some maintenance you have to do, and it's a little bit expensive. The mobile homes are real reasonable to live in. Your top dollar mobile home today, brand new, before it's delivered on the grounds, is between $49,000 to $52,000, brand new for a decent single wide, which sounds good. And then the lot rent is usually between $395 to $405 a month, and that includes your water and your taxes and your garbage. So if you add all that up and you're to live in town, you got your taxes in town and you got your water bill, which a lot of water bills are running, some I've heard as high as $100 a month just in water alone. So it works pretty good. But that's besides the point. Let's get on with what the topic is about today. I'm sorry I'm getting off track here. I'm going to show you what's involved. It's not too bad. Back to winterizing the mobile home. You got winterizing and de-winterizing in the springtime. And the way you mark the dates basically is Halloween, which be for winterizing, and Easter would be for de-winterizing. And that's all you got to remember. And that way you know they got the job done. Now winterizing is, I'm going to take you guys out and show you. We'll walk around the trailer and I'll show you what's all involved out there. We'll go through all the methods. Rather than bore you sitting here in my little kitchen here and talk, and I'll just take you out and show you what's all involved. So let's get on with it. Okay, what we got here is one of our cubby holes that we have to open up, and we're going to do some stuff to that. Let's take you around and show you how many. There's approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6 of them all together. I'll take you around and show you. Here's the other one right here. There's another one here. Another one here. Another one here. And we got another one here. Okay, folks, we're going to attempt to take this apart now. Now we have a vent here that allows the airflow to go underneath the trailer. And the summer months, the trailer, if you don't get this open in the summer months, and you leave it closed, what happens is that your mobile home can't breathe. And circulation doesn't get through your home when you've got the air conditioner on, and the efficiency is not the greatest. So you got to have all these vents open around the whole perimeter in the summer months. And in the winter time, you got to close them. So there's a piece of plywood that goes in here that we're going to close right now because it's winter time, and then that way your pipes don't freeze. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to try to attempt to get this off here because I can't get my fingers behind it. And you just get this started here by popping this off. There, I got it started. Get your finger behind there, just pop this off. It just snaps in. It's pretty easy. Comes off pretty nice. And then you just pull this aside. And then it just takes a couple screws to undo this piece here. You know, make sure this is going the right way. And then you got to have a square end on here for the drywall screws. I find the square works the best. The regular Phillips end up stripping them out, so I use the square ones. So that's number one. Keep your screws together, and then you pop this off and put it aside. And then we got our piece of plywood here, and then we'll just put this aside for right now. Now, the way they make these mobile homes is underneath, when they fabricate the mobile home in the factory. You know, years ago, as I explained at the beginning, it used to be just a square old box that they brought in and made out of tin and made out of 2x2s. Tornado hit it, just blew it all apart, didn't even have a chance. But today everything is built out of a big, you start with a base made out of really nice strong I-beams. They put a 2x6 frame on it, built like a house. You put beautiful windows in. It's all bolted down onto the frame. And you ask yourself, well, how do you keep the pipes from freezing even with this system? Well, what they do in the factory is they put all the plumbing in at the factory. You know, the toilets, the sinks, just anything to do with water, anything that's going to be, has to be exposed to the utilities outside, you know, for the park. Your electric and all that gets hooked up underneath also. So the way that you protect that from the factory is they put what they call it a blanket. And the blanket ain't what you think it is. It's kind of intense. I was underneath and I seen what it all consists of, and it's a piece of material made out of fabric that's, if you had to put it under there and start from scratch once the mobile home was put on the property, it would be impossible. It'd be totally impossible. So you don't want to take the risk of a pipe rupturing inside that blanket at one time or another, because if it does, it's going to fill up into that blanket, it's going to bust that blanket right off, and now they're going to have to come and they're going to have to slice it, and then you're going to be out of your home for months waiting for them to repair all that. And it's going to cost you so much money that you're not going to want to pay the bill. So you cannot allow this to be open in the winter months. The worst scenario is if you are not told anything about how to winterize your mobile home. You better hope that these boards are on the day you move in and they stay on, because if these are off in the winter, air is going to come through there, and I guarantee you that you will freeze up some pipes. So these boards are important to be on so that the air can't get through these vents, because there's going to be a lot of air going through these vents, you know, in the winter, because we get a lot of west winds, easter wind, north winds. You got everything going on in the winter time. So yeah, you got to have this plugged up. So a lot of people don't even know that they have to do this, because a lot of people that move into these mobile home parks are people that had sold their homes and are in bad shape and they want a cheap place to stay. I'm not saying everybody's like that. There's a lot of young people that buy mobile homes, but it's a good place to live reasonable. And I chose to do it early. I did it at the age of about 50 years old, and actually 55 years old I was. And it's the best thing I ever did, because I got no mortgage. I paid cash for it, so I didn't have any mortgage. All I do is pay $410 a month on rent, and it takes care of my water bill, my garbage, and the taxes. So you can't beat it. So getting back to the blanket. The blanket is made out of a fabric, and it's got fiberglass that's probably about, I don't know, a couple inches thick, I would say, inside, that's glued down to the fiber. It's like a black fiber, and it's like it kind of droops down a little bit. And what they do is they shoot screws up underneath it periodically, and it kind of sags a little bit throughout the bottom, and all your plumbing and everything is under that. And then wherever the main water line comes out, they poke a hole in, the main water line goes into the main service that comes through the utility from your street, comes in, and that gets wrapped with electrical, what they call electrical tape, and that gets plugged in and stays on all year round. They say never turn it off. That's the worst thing you can do, is turn it off. You turn it off and you're going to take life expectancy out of that. So you just leave it on. It doesn't cost you anything to run that. It costs you a little bit, but it ain't going to cost you what you think it does. So leave it on, and you can expect to get between 9 to 12 years out of that without replacing it. Now it's going to cost you, just to do one pipe, about $200 to have them rewrap it, to go underneath the trailer, to go underneath there and wrap that. I had them come in and do all my pipes. I had them do the 2 toilets. I had them do the main water line. I had them do the sinks, the sink drains, and they told me the one toilet, I believe, was okay. They had no need to do that, they said. So they left that alone. And the bill was $600 and some odd, and probably the best money I spent. But you got to keep after this stuff, and it's very reasonable when you figure for what you save in return. You're not paying a mortgage, and you bought a mobile home for around, we bought this pretty reasonable. We bought it, it was like 5 years old, so I'm not going to tell you what we paid for it, but we got pretty reasonable and paid cash, and so it's the best thing we did. We don't have a mortgage, and we're able to spend the remaining of my time working and putting money in the bank. We didn't have to put out for a mortgage. So I'm, telling you guys, how you can make some money, by taking your money, investing it. And as far as a tornado goes in a mobile home park, yeah, I'll say it's a magnet for tornadoes. But every time a mobile home gets attacked by a tornado, it's going to hit the news. A mobile home is not any different than a regular home. If you get a direct hit, it's going to be disintegrated. I don't care what anybody says. And yeah, there's no shelter to go to. Well, if you got plenty of warning, you got weather devices that you can listen to, you just get out of the park. You go somewhere safe. You pay attention to the weather, just like you would in town. You ain't got any different than if you were in town. So, yeah, there's a little drawback. I mean, if you want to spend the money, put in your own shelter. I was after the park to put in a tornado shelter at this park. And nothing's done yet, And I don't think they have any plans to do it. I wish they would think it out and do something like that and get a tornado shelter put in this park. But when you start pushing and shoving, and the rent goes up. So we got to watch what we say and do. So anyways, let's get back to the project. So now, being that I told you all about the blanket and all that, how things are done, you don't have to worry about putting straw around your house or the trailer anymore. That's what you got this from about, I'd say about somewhere around here down is all 2x4s. And another thing I want to mention is that I've done a lot of these for people, winterized the mobile homes for people that can't do it. And I find that when the park itself brings a brand new home in here, they don't make these all the same. They don't give you a lip to put this piece of plywood on. They cut a hole even, and then when you put the plywood in, it just falls through. So what are you supposed to put this plywood in? It doesn't fit in there. It doesn't lay up against there like it's supposed to. Like, see now, that goes in there like that. Okay? So now on the other homes, see now I'd have to go in there and I'd have to put a 2x4 in there to fix all that on some of these other people that I go and see and help out once in a while. I got one I'm going to do shortly. But now, I'm going to go one more thing here I want to tell you about. You see this bag here? Remix, or Ramik, I don't even know how you say it. This is for the rodents that you're going to get. That's going to come in off the field out there. They're going to be like mostly mice, field mice. And if you don't put a handful of this in there on each window, you're going to end up with some mice that's going to come through. I don't know how they do it, but they seem to find their way in, and they'll come through. I went 1 year without putting decon underneath the trailer, and we ended up with mice. I think we killed 2. It wasn't bad, but we killed 2. And you got to put that other. You could also put mothballs underneath the trailer, but then you get that smell. You'll get that smell on the inside of the mobile home, and you're not going to like it. Well, decon they don't make anymore, so this is the new stuff, and I got this at the farm store. It was $12 for a bag of this, which was not bad, and that'll last me for 2 years. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put my glove on. I'm going to take a couple handfuls here. And I'm going to just toss a couple handfuls in there. Maybe 3. I get carried away on the first one here. This is just for the video. Look a little better if I put 3 in, I guess. So, all right. Now, we'll stick this board in. Like so. get it over there just a little bit. Put your foot up against it. I'll still have to wash my hands, believe me. Uh-oh. I'm going to be short screws. I'll be right back. And actually it fell over. Let's see how bad I can screw this up. Let's see. That's one screw. We'll put a couple in there. You don't need much screw on that part. It ain't gonna go nowhere. See, it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, what you gotta be careful of is you gotta make sure when you put that on that you're not gonna fight this fitting in that slot. It looks like it's gotta come over to the left a little bit. I think that'll be pretty good. I think. Sometimes these can be buggers. You know, it's just a matter of putting a few screws in here. Very carefully. Start a new hole. Okay. Well, let's see if this fits. Beautiful. Use your foot to persuader. Make sure it's in there good. Okay, that looks like a job well done there. We only got 5 more to go. Well, I'm not going to show you 5 more and bore you to death. But this is basically what you got to do for a mobile home, mobile home. So, folks, I hope that didn't scare you off. There's some of you guys might be looking at an avenue on how to live cheaper, and believe me, this is a nice way to go. The only thing that's bad about the whole situation, if you're looking to have a lot of room, you can forget that. Because the lots are small, there's not a lot of space. So if it's okay for husband and wife and that's all you got. You know, elderly couple that are, you know, selling their home and want to live out the rest of their life and sell everything they got and just live cheap, and then live out the rest of their life in a mobile home. And well, you know where I'm coming from on that. And then the younger generation might be a good starter home. you know, come into a mobile home park and come in at the age of, say, 30 years old, buy yourself a mobile home and live in it for 10 years, and all the money you're saving, put it in the bank and save up, and then sell a mobile home. It'll still bring a pretty decent value. You're probably not going to get what you think out of it because it decreases. You're never going to get out what you paid for it. But I would never buy a new one. I'd buy a used one. You know, you'd lose a lot of money if you bought a new one. I'd buy a used one. But be careful. Make sure you check them out real good. Mobile homes are hard to find that are used, that are in good shape. They're really hard to find. We were going to sell this one here and then move out of town. There's nothing out there. I've looked all over. We looked as far as 100 miles away from here. There's nothing. This is probably the best park you could ever want to move into. And I'm not even going to tell you the name of it. You could probably guess what it is, but when it comes to YouTube, you can't solicit names. You get in trouble for that. But you guys can guess what park this is. You watch my channel, especially the subscribers, all the ones that I've got. A lot of you guys know who I am. So yeah, this has got to be the best park I've seen. I love their rules. They got some real strict rules here. You only want to see one car out in your driveway at a time. You can't have two cars in your driveway. It's not really enforced like it should be, but that's typically the way it's supposed to be. Now, I think if you don't have a garage, I think you're allowed to have two cars in the driveway. I'm thinking. I'm not sure on that. No bicycles to be in the yard. That's going to be left out there. No, nothing can be left out in the yard. You know, no trash. Got to be put up. You know, either in your storage shed or your garage. Most of the places got small garages. You know, I've got a two-car garage. I was lucky. There's not many of them that got a two-car garage. Most of them are 12 foot. My garage door itself is 14 foot. So I got real lucky. Otherwise, I wouldn't never even moved in here because I got to have the space. Yeah, it's a beautiful park. They got a nice playground here for the kids to go to. You can have a nice patio. They'll let you put a patio on. You can have a utility, or not a utility, but you can go to Menards or Lowe's, whatever, Home Depot, and buy a shed. You know, you can't permanently mount it though. You can't put a slab underneath it. It's got to be on a gravel base because they don't want to deal with a piece of slab of concrete if you ever move. You know, so you can't do that. Now you can add on to your existing mobile home if you want, if you got the money. You know, we've added on to ours, and we put on the back of our garage. We added on 11 feet out by, I think 16 foot wide. Yeah, 16 foot wide by 11 foot straight out. And we turned it into a recreation room. And really nice. We fixed it up inside with car siding, put a lot of wraparound windows in there. It's turned up nice, put a floor in there. It's all heated, air conditioning. Air conditioning had to be put in separately. Got a unit that's mounted in the side permanently, because you can't use the existing heat from the mobile home and the air conditioning. It won't work. We've tried it because there's no way to control the thermostat it just screws everything up, and you'll never get that room to be the same temperature as the normal house. So it has to be done independently. So we bought a baseboard heating system, which works beautiful. It doesn't take hardly anything to heat it. And then the air conditioner, we hardly ever use it because that room doesn't even get that hot in the summertime. You know, we got the patio door, we open up, a nice breeze comes through there. So, I mean, we use it once in a while, but very seldom. But folks, that's what mobile home life's all about. And now would be a good time to put the thumbs up and subscribe to me. I'd really appreciate it. Helps our channel, gets the message out. Sorry I didn't have a trip this week for this weekend. We'll be doing quite a bit of stuff coming up. We got some trips planned, and look forward to bringing them to you. And so I hope you guys all have a pleasant day coming up, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. So you guys all have a great day, and I forgot to tell you, on YouTube there's a little bell. You guys need to click on that, and you check the box and you get notifications on every time I come up with a new video. I appreciate it if you hit that too after you subscribe. Okay? Alright, you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.